Welcome. In this playthrough of Marvel Champions, a card game, I have my first solo play with GAMORA, taking on the Taskmaster in Expert mode. So for our setup, the Taskmaster versions 2 and 3 starts with a scheme of 2 and attack of 2, and then moves up to 3 on both. Abilities are the same on both cards. When revealed, deal each player an encounter card. Force response: after a player changes to hero form, they discard the top card of the encounter deck and take damage equal to the number of boost icons on that card. 16 health, and then next version goes to 17. One main scheme, so we're using Taskmaster, Hydra Patrol Standard, and Weapon Master. For setup, set each captive ally aside and out of play, so these will potentially come in depending on our side schemes. Then search the encounter deck in Hydra Patrol and put it into play and shuffle the encounter deck. So I've got that here, but on the flip side of this one, we've got Threshold of 12. Starts with a threat on it. After resolving step 1 of the villain phase, each player in hero form must choose to either place a threat here or take 1 damage. Then Hydra Patrol comes in with 2 threat on it per player. When defeated, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion and puts it into play, engage with them, then shuffle the encounter deck. So for GAMORA, I'm going with Aggression. But looking at her stats, she's got 2 for Thwart, Attack, and Defense. 2 responsibilities. 1 is Finesse. After you play an attack event, remove a threat from a scheme once per phase. And Precision. After you play a thwart event, deal 1 damage to an enemy, limit once per phase. Hand size of 5 and 10 hit points. Alter Ego, Recovery of 3. She's a skilled tactician. You may include up to 6 attack and or thwart events in your deck from aspects other than your chosen aspect. For this gameplay, I'm going straight Aggression with her. Didn't see a need to really swap anything out. As an action, look at the top card of your deck. If that card is an attack or thwart event, draw it. That's limit once per round, and a hand size of 6 on this side. For Aggression, 2 Power of Aggressions, 1 Martial Prowess, and 1 Combat Training. And I've got 3 Clobbers, 3 Drop Kicks, and as you can see, I'm playing for the Drop Kicks and trying to use a lot of physical resources. 3 Piercing Strikes, 2 Uppercuts. Then we've got Bug, Hulk, and She-Hulk. And for the basic cards, I'm just using Strength, then Mockingbird, Lockjaw, Drax, Downtime, and an Endurance. All right, so shuffle up our encounter stack for my first solo play with GAMORA. See what I can get her to do. So I've got these shuffled, then we're going to get an encounter card. We'll go ahead and take the 4 captives, give them a quick shuffle, and set them off to the side here. Then GAMORA is going to get 6 cards. Of course, I do want to see her resource generation coming out early. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Mockingbird, Forward Momentum, Power of Aggression, Martial Prowess. I'm liking that coming up early. A Drop Kick, and Nebula. So, let's see. I do like the instant stun with Mockingbird, so we're going to keep her, even though that's good also. Tough decisions. All right, so 3 more cards. Got an acrobatic move, set the pace, and her sword. All right, starting her turn off, we're going to look to see if we find an attack or thwart event, so we'll put that in her hand. We'll go over and flip over and see how bad that's going to hit us. Taking 2 damage, down to 8. Then we're just going to go ahead and deal with this threat. So each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion and puts it into play. And I'm fine with just taking the regular. So if it's being put in play, not revealed, so the insight does not trigger. I'm going to play Set the Pace, remove 1 threat from a scheme. And since we've done a thwart, we can deal a damage to an enemy. Then we're going to bring in Mockingbird after she enters play, stun an enemy. She's also got a thwart of 1 and attack of 1 with 3 health. So stunned, attack for 1 to defeat the regular. Then we're going to try to set up bringing in Martial Prowess. Exhaust this, generate a physical resource for an attack event. And that's going to be your turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Cross counter, clobber, Drax, piercing strike, and a downtime. So we get a threat. After resolving this, we either place a threat here or take a damage. Going to attack, lose stunned. Get in a counter card. First one, got a training camp. Force response after a minion enters play, give it a tough status card. We definitely want to take care of that for 2 reasons then. 2 threats. And captured by Hydra. When revealed, place 1 random, set aside captive ally beneath this. When the scheme is defeated, the player defeated it, puts that ally into the hand and removes this scheme from the game. So it gets us an acceleration. And 5 threats. So back to our turn. So we are going to clobber. It's an attack event, so we'll use that for a resource. Deal 3 damage to an enemy. If this is the first card you have played this round, goes back to our hand. So down to 13. Then we're going to bring in Drax. 4-1, attack of 3. Only if we have the Guardian trait, which we do. 4 health. Cannot attack minions. He's okay with that. Swinging for 3. Down to 10. Oh yes, and we did attack, so we can remove a threat, which is going to be from here. Then Mockingbird's going to thwart for 1. Get rid of the training camp. And then thwarting for 2. End her turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Dropkick, combat training, clobber, endurance, and strength. Add a threat. And add another threat. 4 out of 12. It's going to attack. Mockingbird's going to take it for a base 1, 2. Oh yes, it's +1 over there. So up to 5. So attack of 2, 3 damage. And counter card, got a weapon master. The villain attacks you. If they have a weapon attachment, this card gains surge. Fortunately, he doesn't have an attachment. So just attacking us, and we'll just take it for 1, 2, 3 damage. Down to 5. We are going to clobber. Using that to help pay for it. 3 damage. This goes back to her hand. Down to 7. We did an attack. We remove a threat. We'll go ahead and... yeah, that should have had 2. So we're thwarting for 2. To remove that from the game. And we're getting White Tiger. So she's got a thwart of 3, attack of 1, 3 health. After you play her from your hand, we can spend a mental resource to remove 3 threat from a scheme. Instead, we're just going to bring her in and thwart for 3. Drax is going to attack for 3. Down to 4. Then we're going to drop kick, dealing 4 damage to an enemy. If you paid for this card using only physical resources, stun that enemy and draw a card. And we are. So it takes him down to 0. He's going to be stunned, and we draw a card into acrobatic move. Next version, we get an encounter card, scheme of 3, attack of 3, and 17 health. And then we're going to play endurance, giving us +3 hit points. So up to 8. And end her turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Decisive blow, keen instincts, conditioning room, spider girl, and a drop kick. So we're going to add a threat +1 more. Goes to attack, lose stunned. Counter phase, we get another card. Hydra Soldier with guard, schema 1, attack of 2 and 4 health. And his brother, Hydra Soldier. So we're going to bring in Spider Girl after you play her from your hand, stun and confuse a minion. And yes, that was hard pitching Keen Instincts. So stun and confused. Then we're going to do a decisive blow using martial prowess, dealing 4 damage to an enemy. So we're going to take out this Hydra Soldier, which is going to get us an encounter card. And we did an attack event, so we get to remove 1 threat. And with the new rule set coming out, you, while this minion is gauged with you, you cannot attack the villain. That is strictly our hero. Does not apply to our allies anymore or support cards. So Drax can attack for 3, down to 14. White Tiger is going to thwart for 3. And Spider Girl is going to swing for 2. And we're going to make it interesting and deal 2 over here to get another encounter card. It's almost like she's trying to compete with Star-Lord. Yeah, swap that out. All right, ending her turn. 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Piercing Strike, Lockjaw, Power of Aggression, Cross Counter, and Forward Momentum. So we're going to add a threat and then take 1 because of the card. He's going to attack. Spider Girl is going to defend. So base 3, 4 damage. Then we start playing with encounter cards. First, Hydra Hunter. This attacks gain piercing and range. Schema 2, an attack of 2. Then we have a Hydra Sidearm attached to the villain. Gives him +1 attack. When attached villain attacks, the attack gains range. Spend a mental and a physical to discard that. And he's got a sword. His attacks gain piercing, +1 attack. Exhaust your hero and spend a mental and physical resource to discard that. All right, we're going to start with the Piercing Strike, which is an attack, 3 damage. Get rid of this guy. Allows us to remove a threat. Then I'm going to play Forward Momentum using Martial, well, not using Martial Prowess. Using these 2 to remove 5 threat from a scheme, or in this case, 1. And deal a damage. Then Drax is going to swing for 3, down to 10. And will attack for 2, down to 8. And you know what? Will it flip over? Sure. Ending her turn, drawing 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Decisive Blow, She-Hulk, Uppercut, the Hulk, Piercing Strike, and a Bug. So just get a threat. We're not in hero form. We ignore the rest. He's going to scheme for base 3. 5. So it goes up to 6. Get an encounter card. Goes into Surge. He's going to scheme for base 3. 5. Well, that got close. 11 out of 12. Our turn, we're going to use our ability. It's an attack card, so we'll draw it. I'll go ahead and flip over. Uppercut, dealing 5 damage to an enemy. Down to 3 health. We get to remove a threat. Wait, what did I pay there? Wanted to spend those. Guess it doesn't matter. Still had a Piercing Strike. I can do 3 or 5 damage. taking care of him down to 0. We still had 2 attack there and another one there. That got closer, but that's the risk you take when you flip over and an advance comes up. But that is GAMORA taking on Taskmaster. Close, but well within her reach there. So as always, hope you enjoyed this playthrough. So please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.